Hi everybody and welcome back. We're going to take a look at using HTML to put colors and animation on our website. So I'm going to take a look at this little review I've got here. Let's just start with a brand new file so we don't get confused with any of the stuff that we worked with before. If you want to work with your previous file, that's okay too. On the HTML2 page, I have this block of code which contains the very basic tags we need for an HTML website. So I'm going to select all of these tags, right click, choose copy, and then I'm going to move into my editor, PSPad, which I already have open. So again with PSPad, if I want to create a new file, I'll just click File and choose New File from the menu up at the top of the screen, and I can choose the HTML file type, then click on OK, and I get the file defaults that I don't really necessarily need to use. I can delete them, and I can paste in the template that I've already provided on the website. So you can see I've got the title of the page at the top. I'm going to change that so that I can call it The Use of Color. And we have a level 1 heading here in the body of the document, and we have a paragraph which says this is my first home page, and some text is in bold. I'm going to change that too, and I'm going to fix it up nice. So there we go, we got that typed in. Now I'm going to save the file by hitting Control S or using the File menu and choosing Save. And instead of my HTML1 folder, I'm in my HTML2 folder, and I'm going to have to make a new folder, so click on the Create New Folder button, and it's HTML2. Double click in there, and instead of calling it new one, which is a horrible name for a web page, I'm going to call it color. There. So now I've got my file saved to my hard drive. I'm going to go into my web browser, and I'm going to open a new tab, and I'm going to choose File, Open, and I'm going to browse to the location of that website, which would be in my documents. You'll find it in your documents, in your CP102 folder, in your home directory, and HTML2 is where I put mine. So I've opened this page in Internet Explorer, and you can see that I have my level 1 heading, use the word color in bold, and I also put the italics for the word American. So let's see how I can change the background color of this page. I'm going to split the page in half so that I can have my web browser on one side, and I'll put the editor on the other side, so I can use this feature in Windows 7 that allows me to show the screen kind of split in half. So this is all I really need. Actually, I'm going to make this part a little bit bigger. Now, I want to put the body color to be a specific color, let's say red. So I move into the body tag and I add the BG color attribute. So I simply change the body tag by adding the BG color attribute, and I do have to spell color the American way, so there's no U in it. The body color, background color is equal to, and then in quotation marks, I put the value of this attribute, and it's going to be number sign. And since I want the background page to be red, I'll choose FF, which is the highest value we can use in a hexadecimal numbers, and no green and no blue. So this should make my background red. So I save the page, and I can move back over here to my browser window. I can hit refresh, and I get a bright red background page. Now, if I move back over here, I could add red and green. And if I add red and green together, guess what background color I'm going to get? And I go over here and refresh it, and I get yellow. So that's, of course, explained in the previous menu, or the previous video about HTML colors. So check that information out if you haven't already. I'm going to go back to red, actually, just because I like it. It's a nice color. Flip back, refresh. Now, I can use a similar tag by changing I can use a similar tag actually to change the color of some text. Now I'm going to show you how to do this in an old version of HTML, which is using the font tag. And you don't typically do this in today's HTML world. You use cascading style sheets, but this is a good introduction to how it's used. So I'm going to use the font tag, and it has a color attribute. And that font color is going to be blue. So I put in the number sign, which means I'm using hexadecimal values, 00 for no red, 00 for no green, and FF for a very large amount of blue. So from the starting font tag with the color attribute, I can simply move to the end of the area I don't want to appear in blue, and I can end the font tag. Oops. So you can see that this line is word wrapped around to the bottom. Doesn't really matter because with word wrap, I just make the page bigger anyway. So I'm going to save the file, save, move back to my browser, and hit refresh. And you can see that this word right here, HTML, is now highlighted in blue. So there you go. We now know how to change the background color and the body color of some text. Now there's a neat little trick here. If you wanted to change the color of all the text on the page, you could actually include another attribute in the body tag called the text attribute. So if I set the text equal to $, and I'm going to put the text green. I like using capital letters for my colors. It's a good idea. And I have no red and no blue. So I'm just using primary colors here. Control save. And then I go back to my page and refresh. So now I have a page with 3 colors. So I have the background color in red. The body of the text, or the main text on the page, is colored green. And inside the paragraph or anywhere else in the body of the page, I can simply color any color I want using the font color. So those are some of the attributes that you use in order to create color on your web page. The BG color attribute of the body, which is used to change the background color. The text attribute of the body tag to change the color of all the text on the page. And you can use the font tag to change, and its color attribute. And there are a number of other attributes with the font tag. But you can use the color attribute of the font tag to change the color of individual letters or words. So this way, if you really wanted to, you can make rainbow letters appear on the screen, you can appear some text in bold, and make them different colors and get a really good effect with it. Now, alternatively, you can use different color names. So like I said, I could actually change all of this text to be white by using the name white. So now I've taken off the $, because the $, represented hexadecimal values. And down here, I'm going to change the color of this word to cyan. So now I've used different color methods. So I'm saving the page, go back, hit refresh, and now I get white text on a red background, and one of my words is in cyan. So there you go, another good feature of using different colors in HTML.